Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to discuss about a React Native, and we will discuss how we can make native Android and iOS apps. We will be also discussing what is native and how a React Native framework is used to create native apps. So basically we will be discussing about how this framework is going to create native apps without learning any Android language like Java or any iOS language for creating iOS apps like Xcode. So the main thing is that this React framework is capable of creating native apps that behave exactly same like native Android or native iOS apps. So friends, let us start our discussion, and please watch this video full so that you can have clear understanding of React Native, and it will be very easier for you to make good application without going to learn different languages. So let us start the video. Friends, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please click on the subscribe button so that you can get important updates whenever a new video is uploaded on the channel. So friends, let us start the discussion. Basically, React Native is the framework that that is used to make native mobile apps. So, as I told you that using this framework, we don't need to learn any other programming language. Like if we want to create any Android app, we go for learning a Java language, and if we want to create an iOS app, then we go for learning a Xcode. In this case, as you know that React Native is a JavaScript framework, so the language that you will be using will be JavaScript and the React library. Then all the coding that you will be doing, it will be in JavaScript, and it is used to create cross-platform native apps. Means you will be creating the app in one language and you will be compiling or deploying that particular app in on Android and iOS. So you don't need to do separate programming for Android or iOS. Only one program, and it is cross platform. And the other thing is it is native. Means you nobody can say that this particular app is not being made using Xcode or Java. The concept that is being used in React Native is a React.js. Now, if we talked about what is native app, so we need to first compare what was being done earlier. Like earlier, we used to use hybrid apps. Like first, Ionic framework was there, and it was doing the same thing. We need to do the programming in JavaScript, AngularJS, and HTML, and then it was being compiled on two different platforms, Android and iOS. But the problem was the apps that we were creating using hybrid apps, using Ionic, they were not native. Not native means they were using web view. So the most of the like look and feel or the behavior of the controls were not exactly same as in case of native app. So there are only two things, native apps and hybrid apps. So for hybrid apps we use Ionic, Cordova, PhoneGap framework. But for clients who only prefer native apps or the apps that have exactly same look and feel, we go for native like React Native, and they are faster as compared to the hybrid apps. So it is faster and safer as compared to hybrid apps. In case of native apps, the testing is very much easier as compared to hybrid apps, because in hybrid app the main testing environment is like browser, and then we have to test it on different platforms. Now comes the benefit of React Native. First thing is native. It means that we don't need, nobody can give any differentiation between the app that is being made using Xcode and the app that is being made using React Native. It is very much easier to code because the language that you will be using will be JavaScript, and most of us, we have been using HTML, JavaScript for the long time. The other main major benefit of React Native is we don't need to learn any other language, and you can just start learning this particular React Native because you will be very much comfortable with JavaScript. The other thing is you just need to code once. Once the coding is done and the language is JavaScript. So you need to code once and you can deploy that particular app on Android and on Xcode. Now, the elements, again, every framework has its own element that will give the look and feel in particular platform. Like we have list view, we have scroll view. So these are the elements that are already built in React Native. We just need to use them and they will be performing same as they are as per the environment, like alerts, models, if you want to show any progress bar, if you want to show any status bar. So these are all the elements that are already being created in React Native, and for a developer purpose a developer just need to use this to make look and feel same. Now you have the elements. Now in order to interact with, like any app that you create, it interact with its camera, its gallery, then it wants to send message, it wants to access the location. So for that it uses API to interact with the device. It has the element, and when the element wants to interact with the with the existing thing like camera or message or location, in that case React has provided different APIs. So with the help of API you can access the uh, camera, or you can access the mobile phone camera, or you can access the location or vibration or storage. Now operating system, as I told you, that it is cross platform both on Windows and Mac. And for Windows, Android SDK must be installed. For Mac, Xcode must be installed. So these are the two different platforms. You cannot compile the code on Windows for Mac, but yes, on Mac you can compile it for Windows because Android SDK is there. If I talk about sample program, as you know that in React Native, before implementing any component, we need to import React and component from the base class, and whatever element that you are going to use. We have just discussed many elements, so we just need to import that element here and then we can use that. So you can see this is the class, and the render method is very much in every class, and this render method, it render HTML. So you can see we have view, and in a view there can be any number of elements. So this is the structure of a React program, and this will render a text, and in that text there will be the this will be the text. Now if you want to install React Native, Node.js is the main thing that must be installed on your machine. Once Node.js is installed, you can just use these two commands. First you need to install a React Native CLI, and next is you need to install Yarn. Yarn is a JavaScript package manager. Just like npm is a node package manager, similarly you have Yarn in case of React Native. So friends, this was the discussion about React Native. We have discussed what is React Native, how it is different from hybrid, and what are the different features of React Native, and we have also seen a sample example of React Native. So friends, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and thank you for watching this video.